If we are responsible, the future will be good for the future generations. Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, 2023, Chapter 15, Offences affecting public health, safety, convenience, decency, and morals. Welcome to our detailed overview of Chapter 15, Section 270, Public Nuisance. Let's begin with public nuisance. If a person's actions or neglect cause injury, danger, or annoyance to the public or nearby residents, they commit a public nuisance. This includes acts that harm public rights, even if they provide some convenience or advantage to others. Section 271, Negligent spread of infection. Moving on to the spread of diseases. Anyone who negligently or unlawfully acts in a way that spreads a dangerous disease can face up to 6 months in prison, a fine, or both. Section 272, Malignant spread of infection. More severely, if someone intentionally spreads a dangerous disease, they could face up to 2 years in prison, a fine, or both. Section 273, Quarantine regulations. Disobeying quarantine regulations can also result in up to 6 months in prison, a fine, or both. Section 274, Adulteration of food or drink. Adulterating food or drink to make it harmful, with the intent to sell, is punishable by up to 6 months in prison, a fine up to 5,000 rupees, or both. Section 275, Sale of noxious food or drink. Similarly, selling food or drink that has become noxious or unfit, knowing its condition, attracts the same penalties. Section 276, Adulteration of drugs. Adulterating drugs to reduce their efficacy or make them harmful, intending them for medicinal use, can result in up to 1 year in prison, a fine up to 5,000 rupees, or both. Section 277, Sale of adulterated drugs. Selling such adulterated drugs knowingly can lead to up to 6 months in prison, a fine up to 5,000 rupees, or both. Section 278, Misrepresentation of drugs. Knowingly selling or issuing a drug as another can result in up to 6 months in prison, a fine up to 5,000 rupees, or both. Section 279, Pollution of water. Voluntarily polluting water sources, making them less fit for use, can lead to up to 6 months in prison, a fine up to 5,000 rupees, or both. Section 280, Pollution of atmosphere. Polluting the atmosphere in a way that harms public health can result in a fine up to 1,000 rupees. Section 281, Rash driving or riding. Rash driving or riding that endangers human life can result in up to 6 months in prison, a fine up to 1,000 rupees, or both. Section 282, Rash navigation. Navigating vessels recklessly, endangering lives, can attract up to 6 months in prison, a fine up to 10,000 rupees, or both. Section 283, Misleading navigators. Displaying false lights or markers to mislead navigators can lead to up to 7 years in prison and a mandatory fine of at least 10,000 rupees. Section 284, Unsafe conveyance. Transporting people in unsafe vessels can result in up to 6 months in prison, a fine up to 5,000 rupees, or both. Section 285, Danger from property. Causing danger, obstruction, or injury by mismanaging property can lead to fines up to 5,000 rupees. Section 286, Handling poisonous substances. Rash handling of poisonous substances can result in up to 6 months in prison, fines, or both. Section 287, Handling fire or combustible matter. Rash handling of fire or combustible matter can result in up to 6 months in prison, fines, or both. Section 288, Handling explosive substances. Rash handling of explosive substances can result in up to 6 months in prison, fines, or both. Section 289, Handling machinery. Rash handling of machinery can result in up to 6 months in prison, fines, or both. Section 290, Unsafe construction. Negligent construction or maintenance of buildings carries similar penalty. Section 291, Animal negligence. Negligence in handling animals causing danger can lead to up to 6 months in prison, fines, or both. Section 292, Public nuisance. Committing public nuisance in ways not otherwise specified can result in fines up to 1,000 rupees. Section 293, Continued public nuisance. Continuing a public nuisance after being ordered to stop can lead to up to 6 months in prison, fines, or both. Section 294 Obscenity. Selling or distributing obscene materials can result in up to 2 years in prison and fines for the first offense, and up to 5 years in prison for subsequent offenses. Exceptions include materials justified as being for public good or religious purposes. Section 295 Obscenity involving children. Selling obscene materials to children can result in up to 3 years in prison for the first offense and up to 7 years for subsequent offenses. Section 296 Public obscenity. Performing obscene acts or singing obscene songs in public places can result in up to 3 months in prison, fines, or both. Section 297 Unauthorized lotteries. Running unauthorized lotteries can result in up to 6 months in prison, fines, or both. Advertising such lotteries can result in fines up to 5,000 rupees. This concludes our overview of Chapter 15, focusing on maintaining public health, safety, and decency. The law provides stringent penalties to ensure the well-being and moral integrity of society. Stay tuned to Info9 Cyber Media for more insights. Stay informed. Live in comfort.